Jacob was an interesting man. He was very erudite. He loved music. He particularly a fan of Haydn's. And his life centered around truly art and culture.
Jacob Glushakow was an acclaimed artist whose favorite subject was Baltimore. From 1920 through 1990, he produced more than 1,000 works of art. He especially focused on the Jewish community and the neighborhoods of East Baltimore.
He brought a dignity or nobility to that life and to that experience.
Jacob's nephew, Robert Glushakow, is surrounded by many of the artist's paintings and sketches in his home. Glushakow's work also hangs in the Baltimore Museum of Art, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Peel Museum, and the JCC, where Glushakow taught art for more than 30 years.
Jacob taught me that art has many different genres. And I think as I now look at his paintings and his drawings, he really, and he took just the day-to-day things that we just pass by and the obvious, I guess, but yet he brings that to life as if that is a snapshot of an important event.
The oldest of 11 children, Jacob Glushakow was born on the steamship Brandenburg as it crossed the Atlantic from Bremen to Baltimore in 1914. The family settled on Eden Street in East Baltimore, where his father Abraham became a labor organizer. His mother Esther encouraged each of her 12 children to pursue their passions.
For her to encourage me to go into the arts in a time which would later be the Depression was, I think, pretty astounding.
Jacob started sketching at a young age, spending hours in the fine arts department of the Enoch Pratt Library. After graduating from City College, where he was a wrestler, he attended Maryland Institute College of Art and Art Students League in New York before returning home to Baltimore.
And I guess observing this real cacophony of people and businesses, and it must have just fascinated him because obviously it's what really had drawn him to a large body of his work.
Along with his paintings of Baltimore, Jacob sketched many family members, including his wife Eleanor and his only child Jane. Robert Glushakow treasures the sketch Jacob did of him as a boy.
I remember him, sitting in the barn and him sketching and just actually keeping his focus on me the whole time he was sketching. And then at the end of the sitting, and I don't recall how long it was, he turned the sketch and I looked at it and I could not imagine that he didn't ever look at that paper while he was sketching. And there, this charcoal or ink sketch of me was right in front of me.
Many of Glushakow's work share a common theme: destruction and construction, the loss of the old that goes on with the changing city.
When I see the market or I see Lombard Street, I can still get that sense of pungent kosher pickles and corned beef, which was actually waning at the time in the 60s as I was coming up. I have that and I understand it perfectly, and I understand how gracious or noble those kinds of scenes and stores are.
Art critic John Dorsey said,
Jacob Glushakow's art was realistic, but also symbolic. He found nobility in the ordinary aspects of the city, and by extension, in the ordinary life as well.